Hello and welcome to the JB&M Sports Fanatic channel. Thank you for joining me for this video, and we're going to be talking about the Indianapolis Colts as they're bringing in five undrafted free agents to their team. They're signing receiver Tyreek Black, linebacker Anthony Butler, running back Deion Jackson, linebacker Isaiah Kufansi, and wide receiver Tyler Vaz. So yeah, so bringing in all these guys, Thursday obviously we're very busy. I mean, they're bringing in guys from Texas, Liberty, Duke, BYU, USC. Um, they also had a lot of success in 2020 in terms of undrafted free agents, which, as this sums up here, that explains why the Indianapolis Colts, are probably as aggressive as they are because they hit on Zach Pascal, Jack Doyle, um, Danucci Autry, and Kenny Moore. So yeah, and then Autry, he signed with Tennessee Titans as an unrestricted free agent this offseason, but they were able to retain the other three, as in keeping Moore, Doyle, and Pascal, all returning to this year's unit for 2021. So because of that, I mean, if you take a look here, and I'm not going to go through the entire list, but you see a lot of the guys that they have on their current roster right now, these were guys that went undrafted. So that's just an testament to the type of coaches that they have, the scouting department for being able to, pick up these guys, and then the willingness to put these guys in position to help them utilize their strengths and, continue to coach them. So, I mean, this is a very steep list that you're looking at here. I mean, Mo Allen Cox, he's a tight end with a lot of upside to him. Jack Doyle, as you mentioned there, obviously their kicker, Rodrigo from Georgia. So they've got a good list here. Kenny Moore, Sky Moore, Zach Pascal, yeah, Chris Reed. They've got a ton of guys here, a ton. Chris Williams. So yeah, so Tyreek Black, wide receiver, 6'3", 215 pounds. A little bit about him: he caught 50 passes for 747 yards and three touchdowns in four college seasons spent at Michigan from 2017 to 2019 and Texas in 2020. He recorded a 4.53 in a 40-yard dash and a 40-inch vertical on his pro day earlier. Black missed 17 games during his first 2 years at Michigan due to both a broken foot, which he suffered in 2017, and a fracture in his right foot in 2018. Anthony Butler, he's a linebacker, 6'1", 222 pounds. Butler transferred to Liberty from Charlotte for his final collegiate season, and Liberty had a tremendous season, especially I believe the last 2 years, especially. And yeah, and so he had 67 tackles, two interceptions, four pass breakups, and four tackles for a loss in 2020 alone. He appeared in 36 games, 16 starts at Charlotte, and recorded 146 tackles, 10 and a half tackles for a loss, three and a half sacks, and four pass breakups before transferring to Liberty. Running back Deion Jackson, at 6 feet, 220 pounds. 6 feet is relatively tall for a running back. Only two running backs ran faster 40 times at their respective 2021 pro days than Jackson, who clocked in at a 4.4 40 at Duke's pro day. So, yeah, I mean, I didn't realize the kid was that fast when he was coming out of Duke. Obviously, when you think Duke, I didn't think too much about, their running back position. But yeah, definitely a very fast running back here. So it'll be interesting to see how they utilize him. He appeared in 48 games for the Blue Devils and started 31. He rushed for 2,267 yards on 526 carries and added an additional 534 yards on 61 catches and 23 total touchdowns. So yeah, he definitely was a playmaker at Duke, and he was also a team captain in 2020. So now Isaiah at linebacker, 6'2", 222 pounds. He's one of 17 members of his extended family to play football at BYU. Talk about tradition. I mean, there's no even need to make a pitch. It'd be like, when are you going to come and start at BYU at this point? Where he finished his career as team captain in 2020. He led the Cougars with 83 tackles last year and added four and a half tackles for a loss, four sacks, and three forced fumbles, and a pick six in 12 games, nine in which he started. So pretty successful thing. Obviously, he was a tremendous leader in BYU. Aside from, obviously Zach Wilson, they had a pretty good year last year as well. Let's see, Tyler Voss, wide receiver, 6'2", 184 pounds. Kind of small in terms of, I guess you can say, weight for and size for a receiver. But I imagine that he's got to be more of that speedy type receiver, or at least a good route runner. Just going off of his size there. But he appeared in 45 games, 37 starts for USC from 2017 to 2020, and finished his collegiate career with 222 catches for 2,801 yards and 20 touchdowns. He also added some to the return game when he returned 31 punts for 267 yards, averaging 8.6 yards a return and one touchdown for the Trojans. He was a three-time honorable mention All Pac-12 before being named a second-team All Pac-12 player in 2020. So yeah, the Colts, they definitely did their homework on these guys, and I'm excited to see the opportunity presented to these young men as they're going to go ahead and try to continue in the growing tradition of Indianapolis Colts getting talent from undrafted players. That goes without saying. I know that we talk a lot about teams like the Patriots that generally do good with bringing in talent of guys who go undrafted, but yeah, this is a great way where if you miss on the draft or you're taking a good chance, on some guys in the draft, this is a good way to balance that out and continue to build your team by being able to get these type of guys and really just coach them up. I mean, this attests a lot to the position coaches, coordinators, head coach, just the organization in general, to be able to have a culture that you can develop talent. That's very huge. But yeah, we'll see how it pans out for these guys. But thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. And as always, as more news continues to drop, you can be sure to find it here. So thanks again for watching and have a great rest of your day.